Throughout these past couple months watching these films, I found that the spirit of the films during the New Hollywood era revolves heavily on the tenderness of the mundane, personal exploration, and the vices of the working class. Where on some level, people are just searching for some sort of escape from their daily lives. I feel like most of the movies, while exploring this era, have been heavily rooted in the male experience. Something that this film, Variety by Bette Gordon, offers is expressing a woman's experience of community in the environment surrounding a porn theater in New York City, a place that is heavily dominated by men and the queer community and where they go to escape. Um, all of this is navigated through the perspective of the female gaze. What I mean by the female gaze is that it is rooted in curiosity of humanity rather than the validation from men, their desires and just pleasures one receives from voyeurism. As that is more the subject matter that this film is trying to unpack, but not the lens that it's viewing the subject matter. I feel like this film doesn't intrude on the exploration of voyeurism. If anything, it welcomes voyeurism for the sake of trying to understand it. The character Christine, who we follow, is an example of how a person observes as a way to self-preserve and understand her surroundings for what they are in a non-judgmental way. While those around her place a level of expectations on how she is supposed to be, just given social standards. And we see how she interacts with her mother and her on and off boyfriend.
What else? What else?
As there's shame tied to the place that she works, where she's just trying to survive. I think this then creates an investigative platform and meditation, so to speak, for trying to understand the world and people of this subculture in porn theater. I think this, in the space, given that it consists of a heavy patriarchal structure, and like thrives off of male validation. And for women, that would mean performing for them and looking a certain way. And for men, their validation doesn't lie with women, it relies on the validation of other men. So on page 25 from Samuel Delaney's Times Square Red, Times Square Blue, he speaks of the flattening of women till she is only an image on the screen, someone who has a magical essence and mystical energy, yet is intellectually, emotionally, and politically absent. So basically a shell of a person. And with this, we see the potential violence and unwanted attention that occurs when women are flattened to an idea or a shell, an image, are dehumanized in the process. And I believe this film tries to reverse the flattening of women. At the very least, points out the ideas that Delaney suggests in a way that redefines women with tenderness, fullness of human experience, thoughts, and the way that Bette Gordon handles her subject matter and that she explores in her work, and how she navigates the nuances of sexuality and desire grounds the premises of this film. We see Christine and her friends and acquaintances sharing experiences at the bar with other women, and it creates a place for bonding. And these particular scenes feel so special because of how the bar becomes a place where these women's stories and experiences are validated and seen. Incorporating their monologues is such a beautiful way to bring more humanity back into the representation of women, shifting the narrative that prioritizes connection with each other emotionally while also having the space to talk about their sexuality and desires. all in a way that is casual and just part of the human experience. It's something that this era just so heavily encapsulates. There's just a feeling of connection, of longing for that connection, as people just so badly want to be seen by others. Um, Thank you for listening.